Hi, this is Paul, Finlaven's Waterproofing Liquid Rubber Melbourne, back again. Hi, thanks for joining us. I thought I would show you about a good example of a slab. I'm always on about preparation of these jobs to get them waterproof right from the word go. Well, this one's a good one. I thought I'd share it with you. The edge of this slab is being poured out a square, so the edge has been taken off. Now the biggest problem, of course, here is the waterproofing membrane. Now that's a bit of a fallacy in itself. The plastic underneath the slab is meant to stop water coming up into the slab. This one in particular, I know, is sealed properly because we came in just before the steel was laid and we sealed every joint first. Now the problem here is, if this plastic was just literally pushed up like that and the frame goes here and the weatherboards go there, this will probably just fall down and water will get down in here and then water's permeating into the edge of the slab. Before you know it, whoever's in here is going to end up with a big damp spot right in this slab here, in this corner. So to stop that, what we're doing, I get the blower, and I'm blowing out all the debris from behind here, which I'll do in a minute. It's too noisy to show you that. Blow out all that debris, and then we're going to paint that with the liquid rubber, which I might show you a little bit later on. But what we're going to do is going to paint this right down the back here. We're going to paint it right up here, onto the top of the slab. Then we're going to get this plastic and we're going to bond that plastic to the rubber. Then I'm going to come over the top and give that another coat over the top just to seal that top edge as well. That way any water that's going to roll in through here, there's going to be a drainage system in here by the way, but that's not the point. Still water in a big deluge will come through here, hit this slab, and it won't get in at all because there'll be a water stop here. And then once the frame goes in, there'll be another water stop here as well, which will lap down on top of this plastic. Impossible to get water in. That's the main thing that needs to be done. A lot of people don't do it, and I'm just making a point of it. Just throwing on a base coat here of the rubber. Putting a nice big thick generous coat on here. So there's no great finesse in it, it's just a case of getting a coverage on the edge here, just so it's going to bond. So I'm using a bit of an old rubber that's in the bottom of the bucket there, and just to use it up really. And so if I just give that a cut like that, let that dry a little bit. When I get to the end there, I'll just pull that up, that'll stick. It's an adhesive as well, see? So that's the important part. So just getting it on there on the edge and bringing this out here a little bit. The bottom plate's going to sit there, so it's a damp course for the timber sitting on the concrete as well. So it acts as another damp course as well. I mean, these days slabs, usually carpenters will come along and put the bottom plate straight on the slab without any malthoid or damp course or anything. So this is a little added extra, which I believe should be done. That's just me. There's a couple of little bits of Rio mesh that are hanging out here. Now they could be cut off and then painted over the top, but there's actually no need to do that. See that little bit of Rio there? There's another bit here that I've just painted over, and another one just there as well actually. But what this will do is actually stop that from rusting. So there's no need to cut it off, as long as it's got a good coat on there. You just come over the top like that. There's another little bit there, next to those tracer wires there. So we just coat that. Coat the wires, coat everything. It's a bit of a case of coat everything and make sure it's coated properly. That way it's protected. Now, important part of this is, this should be done. Now, as a business, we're not that particularly interested in coming out doing these sort of little jobs, but as a builder, if you did this, or you got your labourer to do it or whatever, it doesn't take long. You don't need any particular finesse to do this. It's just a case of being thorough. Come along afterwards, it's black. Anything that's not coated, you can see quite clearly. It shows up very quickly. And then it's just a case of dabbing at the end like you would a good painting job. So if you're dabbing it in like that, as long as it's got a good coating on it, it's going to waterproof it. It'll stick like blazes. This stuff's crazy. So you can go to our DIY section on the website, which is www.waterproofingfew.com.au, you can go in there, contact the office, get a bucket of this, work away. It's cost you a little bit more, but it's worth it, I tell you. This stuff won't come off, it won't crack, it won't shrink, it'll keep elastic. The plastic, when I get to doing it, will actually, that'll bond to there. I've got to dry a bit more yet, but that'll bond to it, so it's an adhesive. Works like magic, I tell you. So do yourself a favour and get a bucket of this and do this. Just showing you here, the plastic actually has been bonded to the edge of the slab here. I'm just using the brush to actually push the plastic against the slab, trying to get a bit of rubber down the back here, and then sealing it off like such. You just leave that like that because that just wants to stick up there. So when that dries a little bit, I'll just come along and I'll roll that over like that and push it down. It's starting to stick now, as you can see. It's just a little bit wet. It's a pretty cold day today. So you can trim that off below if you want, if you don't want to muck about with it. So it's like this, that edge there, but you've got to make sure that edge gets filled up with rubber, like so, because you don't want water getting down in there. See how I've just sealed that now? So you push that up, leave that as it is, and that'll seal. I need to go along there and do the rest of it, but that's a seal. And then what we'll do is have the wall frame standing here like so, and then we'll staple a flashing onto each stud and onto the bottom plate maybe, and that'll drape down over the top. So any water that's going to shed down here is literally just going to shed down, go into the drainage system and away to the storm water, exactly where it should be going, not in here. So do yourselves a favour, as I mentioned before, get yourself a bucket. As I say, it's not a big job. If you need help doing it, you can always give me a call and I can give you some pointers. It's no stress, but for the sake of the job, please waterproof it. Cheers, bye for now.